Her stomach knotting as she fought down queasiness, she moved to the next man. Sorcha did not stop by every man, performing the distasteful task of stealing from the dead only enough to assuage the keen suspicions of the scavengers. All the while she and Margaret looked for Dougal, but without success. By the time she crouched by the fifth man she felt forced to rob, she was feeling distinctly ill. Although she found some cause for relief in not finding Dougal's body, she was still worried about his fate. It would be a particularly cruel twist of fate to stain her soul with the crime of robbing the slain men, only to have to leave the field with no certain knowledge of what had happened to her brother. "This man is very finely dressed," Sorcha murmured, then froze, her hand still upon the ornate buckle of his scabbard, as his broad chest rose and fell with a deep breath.
"Touch that sword, you foul thieving Corby, and I will send you straight to hell,"
the man said, in a deep, soft voice made hoarse with pain. She could not fully stifle a soft cry of alarm as he clasped her wrist in one large hand, the mail of his gauntlet cutting into her skin. A quick glance at Margaret told her that her cousin was too intent on watching the scavengers to notice her current difficulty. Trying to hide her fear, Sorcha looked at the man, shivering inwardly over the fury glittering in his pain-coloured dark green eyes. "You dinna have the strength to kill every Corby slinking o'er this bloodied field, my fine knight," she whispered.
"Ere I die I can make sure that a few of you will ne'er pick at a man's bones again."
"Aye, and ye will die if those other Corbys ken that you're still alive. Howbeit, if you will heed me, you might yet leave this cursed field alive." "Who are you talking to, Sorcha?" asked Margaret. "Weel, cousin, if you will babble at me at all the appropriate times, mayhaps the others will believe I'm talking to you," replied Sorcha. "Is that man alive?" "Aye, for the moment." After another swift peek at Margaret assured Sorcha that the girl had the sense not to stare at her, Sorcha looked back at the knight. "The first thing you can do, sir, is to let me go about the ill deed of robbing you."
"Oh, aye, so you can steal all I own more easily ere you cut my throat," he snarled.
"Nay, fool, so the other thieves slinking o'er the battlefield dinna ken that you're alive. We could all be slain then, for they will realise that Margaret and I are not what we pretend to be." She did not waver beneath his hard stare. "Ye had best decide quickly. They will soon wonder why I linger here." Despite the tension of the moment, Sorcha almost smiled as she heard Margaret deride Dougal in colourful terms for his insistence upon joining the never-ending battle against the English.
"Why is that girl talking to you?"
grumbled the man. "So that the others dinna guess that you still have the breath to speak," replied Sorcha. "After all, we both ken that they're both watching us, and I must be talking to someone. You're supposed to be dead."
"If ye are not here to rob the dead, then what are ye about?"
"My cousin and I are looking for Sir Dougal Hay, Laird of Dunweir."
"Ye will nae find that brash laddie here. The English took him."
"I thought the English lost this battle."
"Aye, but they managed to drag off a few of our lads as they fled the field."
Sorcha cursed, ignoring the man's startled look. "Do you think anyone else on this bloodied field survives?"
"There may be a mon or two, but they will nae be breathing much longer. What the English didnae finish, the thieving swine tiptoeing amongst the bodies will, be they English or Scot."
"Shall I wander about and see if I can find another survivor?" asked Margaret. "Only if you truly wish to, cousin," replied Sorcha, resisting the urge to rub her wrist when the man eased his hold on it. "Now that we have seen that this man still lives, I think I must. Dinna be too obvious about what you're doing, and 'twould be best if you leave the horse behind." "How will I help anyone if I cannae move them?" "If we find a live one, we will consider the problem then." Sorcha shook her head as she cut loose the man's purse and added it to her booty. "Try to get the fool to hide. I will need time to think of how we can walk away with this mon or anyone else." She smiled faintly when Margaret whispered a mild curse. "Be careful." As soon as Margaret left, Sorcha turned back to the wounded knight. "Who are you?"
"Sir Ruari Kerr, Laird of Gartmore."